So as we prepare to observe Justice, Peace and Community Week and World Day of the Poor, let's reflect on the challenge we face to address poverty and social exclusion. Poverty impacts children and adults from all ethnic communities. UNICEF tells us that 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor, without access to education, health, housing, nutrition, sanitation, or water. Every child is a gift from God. Is our society child-friendly? Are we creating conditions that will enable each child to realize his or her potential? UNICEF states that children are more likely to live in poverty than adults. They are more vulnerable to its effect. Pope Francis reminds us that there is an inseparable bond between our faith and the poor. May we never abandon them, he says. Each individual Christian and every community, he says, is called to be an instrument of God for the liberation and promotion of the poor, and for enabling them to be fully part of society. This demands that we must be attentive to the cry of the poor and come to their aid. He said, I want a church which is poor and for the poor. They have much to teach us. In their difficulties, they know the suffering of Christ. We need to let ourselves be evangelized by them. The dignity of each human person and the pursuit of the common good are concerns which ought to shape all economic policies. Yes. Ultimately, he says, persons are no longer seen as a paramount value to be cared for and respected, especially when they are poor and disabled. The present pandemic has further highlighted the disparities and inequalities widespread in our time, particularly to the detriment of the most vulnerable. Inclusion should be the rock on which to build programs and initiatives of civil institutions meant to ensure that no one, especially those in greatest difficulty, is left behind. The strength of a chain depends upon the attention paid to its weakest links. Lord, help us to play our part in ensuring that each link is strong and that our chain will endure in the face of the challenges we face. Amen.